and people say you were wrong. People say I'm wrong all the time, man. That sounds like a them problem. I don't watch the content, man. I react to the content. Dude, I think we had like 7 or 8 people come in here today and say, "Did you watch the Linus video?" Like, we gotta do it. What that tells me is that if I watch it and react to it now, it'll get a lot of clicks on YouTube because everybody wants to see my reaction to it. So let's go do that. Let's go do that.
The best CPU at every price point in the desktop market.
At least by everyone else.
Nope, not this guy. Who is always first at picking up bullshit? This guy. This guy. Hey, Gordon, are you watching this?
Testing was...
Maybe you were wrong after all, huh? They actually did some investigative reporting on this shit. Not like fucking Gordon and PC World and shit. But they're like, it's not a scam. Clearly! The largest tech channel.
2950X3.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? The biggest thing that you're seeing about this whole situation is you have a line down the middle, right? Tech enthusiasts and normies. And the people defending this product are on this side. The people that are like, this is dog shit, are on that side. Linus, that UFD tech guy, me, Brian, Tech Yes City, like just like normal dudes, man. Like Linus is a pretty normal dude, right? The UFD guy, he's pretty normal, right? I think it's because the cache imbalance must have something to do with it. So when the game is bouncing to one CCD with a fuck ton of cache, bounces to the one that doesn't have a bunch of cache, plus that one has higher clock speed, it's a complete clusterfuck, dude.
Well, not here.
It's a complete clusterfuck.
Instead, system that
Hey, Gordon! Hey, Gordon, I know you're watching this, Gordon. You fucked up.
CPUs
I'm gonna be on you like white on rice from now on, buddy.
should be tested.
Don't fuck up again.
At a that the review we never published was scathing. Performance was not in line with AMD's claims.
I think they should have published it anyway. Like, maybe like you should publish it. So here's the thing, right? Because Linus is the largest media outlet, right? They should have published it on day one and say this is dog shit for the good of the consumer in a certain regard, right? Because this chip has been sold out everywhere since launch day because of how much positive press it got, right? When the product is complete dog shit. So maybe Linus, they should have done like, hey guys, don't go out and buy it yet because we're not seeing what AMD told us that we would see. Just something to give people a warning, right? Don't just stay quiet and then, you know, I don't like that. We're all here for the consumers. We're not here for the corporations, right? You know how sometimes they'll like try and work it out with AMD behind the scenes? It's like, no. You gave me this press driver. You gave me these instructions and it sucks. That's what I'm publishing, right? I'm not going to try and fix it with the AMD engineers behind the scenes before I No. It has to just work, man.
So with nothing else to go on, if we had launched that review, we would have been the only outlet with a broadly negative take on this chip.
No, well, I guess I'm not really a large enough outlet yet.
To their credit, AMD did event.
And that's not a bad thing. It's not. Dude, the largest criticism I get is why is your information so different from everybody else's? Because I don't do this shit. I don't contact the person beforehand and try to be like, hey man, I'm not seeing the results that you're like, no. I just publish whatever the hell I get. And if it's dog shit, it's dog shit, right?
With the integrated GPU enabled, Windows would immediately crash once our GeForce GPU's drivers loaded.
I had this exact same problem. You guys remember on that? Yeah, I had the exact same problem, dude. When the iGPU was enabled, it would just fucking crash the computer. Oh, God. Buy an AMD product and find out, dude. See, the thing I don't like is he phrased it in such a way where he was like, we would have had a different review from everybody else. So publish the damn data, man. There's nothing wrong. Why do we all have to have the same results? That's just not how life is. Life isn't black and white, man. There's a lot of gray in there, right? If your data is different from everybody else's, be like, well, this is what we got. It doesn't have to line up, man.
Anomalous.
Don't release a product. See, so Linus basically just did all the beta testing for AMD for free. So is hardware going the same path as gaming now, where like, hey guys, open beta weekend, and the game's broken as shit, and basically all the company did was let you play their game for free and beta test it for them? Is that where hardware is going to? It's like, hey, we kind of have something that sort of works. Give it a shot and report back all the problems that you find. What the fuck? You're supposed to hire QA for that, man. What the hell? You're supposed to release that shit working.
It's a pretty cynical take, but the truth is, we have seen this strategy before.
Yeah, of course, I get the same shit. Jufus just hates AMD.
And
I hate unfinished products that don't work. I guess, yeah.
Are the culmination of what is now weeks of testing and troubleshooting.
What the hell? Why does that take weeks to troubleshoot? Just turn one of them off, and then you would have found out in 2 seconds. What? How is that weeks of troubleshooting? Just turn it off, man. Turn one of the CCDs off. Why is nobody doing that? That's so weird.
Leave us with some, as the pre-release chipset driver only installs the new performance optimizer and the awkwardly named PPM provisioning file driver when it detects a dual die X3.
Oh my god, dude. Just listening to him mention all those caveats to get this chip working is like giving me a headache, dude. I'm like, this is... I mean, we've talked about this chip enough, man, but like, remember what I said in the last video there, or the last stream, when I was like, you're gonna see a lot more negative reviews coming out now that people have been fucking around and finding out? I didn't know that included Linus, but I'm like, man, they're finding out now. They're finding out.
7950, even if you're in game. So it's worth noting that a 7900X3D would wake up more often, since each die has only 6 cores.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that one. So if you bought a 7900X3D, your performance would be worse more of the time. And like if you because let's say Warzone uses more than 12 threads or whatever, which it does. It would fuck your performance over way more often. That's a really good point.
Instead of 8. Unsurprisingly,
I didn't even think about that.
Then.
Yeah, honestly, AMD should have just done Vcache on both, or just released the 7800X3D. That, like, thank God Linus released this video, man. Like, now it's like, oh shit, Jufus was right again. Like, seeing a fucking trend here, right? It's like, oh shit, Jufus was right again. Also, AMD now now they get the bad publicity of a giant tech tuber saying the product is dog shit too, right? Now all those AMD fanboys can't be like, Jufus is just a hater. It's like, no, man. I'm just a gamer, not a hater. Oh, that's a good one. Jufus is just a gamer, not a hater.
That ours is definitely...
Yeah, this was the problem that the original 5800X3D had. You guys remember when I first reviewed that CPU? I'm like, there's no way to lock the cores on this thing, which was a massive downfall of... Because I saw the same thing in Ryzen Master when I was playing Warzone, and all of the threads were doing this, bouncing around and shit. It's a clusterfuck, dude. You need to be able to lock the cores to get good gaming performance. You have to lock that shit.
Performance per watt. I mean,
I agree.
If we step back, you were getting...
I agree. Maybe they thought that gamers don't care about power consumption, which I The whole power consumption thing is a bit interesting because we as gamers, we don't give a fuck about power consumption. Just give me the frames, right? But a lot of AMD fanboys always use the power consumption angle as like, oh, but it draws half the power. Now, where they should have marketed that is in laptops, right? So let's say take the 7800X3D, right? If that thing gets the same frame rates as like a 13950 HKX or whatever, the laptop version gets the same frame rate at half the power. Oh, dude, AMD would destroy the laptop market. That's where the whole fucking point is, right? Not in a desktop setting where people are buying 4090s with 700 watt power limits and shit. Like, that's not, you know?
And it looks like the cores will aggressively try to clock down or even sleep whenever possible. When they're not fully loaded.
Yeah. This is the exact same thing I encountered.
And that would explain.
Good man. Whoever at LTT was doing the I mean, it took them a while to get there, but at least they came to the right conclusions, right?
What we observed with our GPU-bound scenario and with our 1440p results.
You have to be able to lock those cores, man. That was the biggest problem with I'm pretty sure that's probably why it still has the AM dip, because you cannot lock the fucking cores on the three. Like the shitty thing is there's no way for me to test that or for me to confirm that, right? I'm like, why am I seeing the fucking AM dip everywhere? I even disabled one of them, right? I'm like, I'm still seeing the AM dip, and then you see all this like wavy shit with the cores. I'm like, man, it would really be nice if I could just lock these fuckers. Like, you have control over PBO and the boosting behavior, but you can't just like, I want to set this at 5 gigahertz all core. Done. Like, they really need that.
In a typical Ryzen die.
Yeah, there you go. So they don't let you lock the cores because they want those cores to cool down, right?
This behavior, of course, means that there is some performance being left on the table.
There you go. That was a good video, man. That was good. I don't think anything more needs to be said on that. It's a dog shit product. Dog shit product. Gordon, hella wrong. Gordon, hella shill. Just buy 7800X3D. Not the fastest, but the least fafo. That's what I would say about that chip. And I said this in my 5800X3D review as well, which it didn't end up happening. I was like, maybe one day we might find a way to lock all the cores. That never ended up happening. So because when I reviewed the 5800X3D, the technology was so new. I was like, I don't see a reason why we can't lock all the cores here. It should work fine. So I thought maybe we would get I thought maybe one of the motherboard vendors eventually would find some way to do it, but that never ended up happening. So I don't think this is going to happen. Do not think that maybe one day we might find. I don't think it's going to happen. So don't buy this CPU thinking that one day the dip will be gone because we can lock the cores, right? I don't think it's going to happen. And people say you were wrong. People say I'm wrong all the time, man. That sounds like a them problem. Jufus is wrong. Okay, go buy it and find out. Cool. Not here to convince you. I'm here to inform my supporters of what's up. That's what people fail to understand, right? There's some guy in the YouTube comments I don't give a flying fuck about, right? There's people paying me a lot of money in the Discord to weed out all this fucking information, right? So Linus came out with this video. Great. This is 4 weeks late, man. That shit needs to be day one. This is a fucking dog shit product. Day one, man. You gotta move fast, right? Because especially in my community / area of not expertise, area of competence for my gamers. They're very high-end buyers. They're all very wealthy. They all want to play games with the best hardware. They don't want to fuck around at all, right? So this info needs to be out day one, right? So if I release a video that's like, this is dog shit, guy. If I release a video on day one, I'm like, this is dog shit. Don't buy this thing. I'm talking to my Discord supporters. I could really give a fuck or two if somebody in the comments doesn't believe me. Because if you're in the YouTube comments, that means you're not in the Discord. That means I don't care about you. Because you're not a supporter. You know what I'm saying? You feel free to ride along for the content, but my content is geared toward... I take care of my own, right? I don't take care of Reddit nerds that don't play games. I don't care. I don't take care of the guy that doesn't buy shit himself and test it. And that just argue... No. I take care of the guys that need the right information, right? Gamers, right? Let me catch you up here. And here's my counter argument to always... If you ever think I'm wrong, go fafo yourself. You'll find out. It's a simple... Dude, that's why, do you know what I like about hardware a lot? Just in general, just kind of an aside, what I like about hardware? Hardware is awesome because there is no gray area. I know we were talking about that earlier, but I'm talking about numbers here. Numbers do not lie. Numbers cannot lie. There are no gray numbers. There's a 1 and a 0. It's binary, right? So when somebody is like, Jufus is wrong about a product, I'm like, dude, these are the numbers. You can't make it up. You can't fake it. I mean, you can, but then you can. But if you fake something or fuck something up, somebody will pick out your mistake. That's the beauty of hardware. There's no debate online about hardware. It's this works and this doesn't. There's no debating, right? So that's why I love hardware in general. So if somebody tries to debate me on hardware, first of all, if you're debating, I know you haven't bought in it. Because anyone that's bought in it doesn't debate. They just test it. And then if you end up testing it, you're gonna be like, whoa, okay. I see. Why do you think anyone that, why do you think that, you know, these like tech tubers, like I'm kind of new to this whole scene, right? When a tech tuber finds my content, they're in like disbelief. They're like, this guy's full of shit. Then they go test it. I'm like, oh shit. It happens every time. Because you can't make up numbers, right? That's true. Yeah, Shraf. LTT has to redo the investigative. That's true. But didn't it come out like a few months ago, like 4 or 5 months ago or something, where like the LTT benchmarks were completely wrong? Like 3 or 4 videos in a row? Nothing bad happened. Like you can be for the problem. Here's another problem with YouTube. You can be as wrong as you want to be and nothing bad. Look, Moore's Law is dead. You can be as wrong as you want to be and nothing bad happens either, right? So here Jufus was right again. Always right at the end of it all, right? Nothing good happens from that. It goes both ways. MALD made some shit up. I know I pick on this guy. I don't mean to. He's just the easiest one to pick on because he gets so much shit wrong, right? Adored, all that shit, right? Made some shit up. Nothing bad happens. So you can be right all the time or you can be wrong all the time. It doesn't matter in the tech tube space anyway, right? It doesn't fucking matter. Gordon deserves to be drilled, man. You were right the first time. Now, that might not be a reflection on Gordon. That might be a reflection of his employment contract, right? With his company. Maybe you should place the blame more with PC World in general then, rather than Gordon himself. Gordon's just the face of that brand, right? But the problem really is PC World's relationship with AMD. That's more what the issue is there, right? Because Gordon literally in that live stream, he's like, I don't know about this CPU, man. It doesn't look good, right? It was an honest, genuine, you can tell he was just having a chat with some guy, right? And then he comes out with 4 videos trying to backpedal. That might not be Gordon. That could just be the company, right? Not wanting to ruin relations. But then on the other hand, you could also say that Gordon agrees to do that as well. Like he's agreeing to that employment contract where you're not allowed to have an opinion, Gordon. You gotta fucking read from this script. We're gonna use your likeness for our script. Then you could also argue Gordon needs to feed his family somehow. Now you're getting into the weeds of everything, really, right? It's like, I gotta feed my family. I don't really give a shit. I'll just follow the script. Meanwhile, not realizing the damage he does to fucking the hardware space, right? And being wrong and shit. The problem is people buy it and then have denial about it. Yeah, but those people aren't in my community. That once again, I don't care about the masses or internet / Reddit / forums. I don't care, man. Here's the other thing. If you're defending the purchase, that means you're guilty right off the bat. People that bought something and are enjoying it, they're just enjoying the product. It's like, you don't go and you buy a fucking Ferrari and then go defend your Ferrari purchase to like Lamborghini guys. Like you wouldn't do that. You would just be driving your Ferrari and enjoying. You don't have to prove your purchase to other people. You know what I'm saying? So if you're already trying to defend your purchase, somewhere inside you fucked up. Somewhere it's over. Like you fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's not allowed to admit it. He could lose his job if he admits it. It's not worth it. Like, so where does this sound familiar? Do what we tell you to do or you're gonna lose your job and you're not allowed to come to work. Where does that sound familiar? And what did most people do? They complied. Most people will comply when it means discomfort of any kind. Not just discomfort, but trial or uncertainty is the word. Uncertainty. That's a horrible way to spell it. Oh my god, uncertainty. Whatever, you know what I'm saying? When you present someone with let's say you take Gordon and you're like, if you're gonna be jobless tomorrow if you don't make 4 videos backpedaling this, 99% of people are just gonna comply. Because what's the alternative? I gotta find a new job. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to pay my bills now. I need to support my family. Like the path of least resistance / security will always win. Beat the truth / what's right. No one's gonna go out of their way to choose discomfort over what's right, because you know what they're basically doing in that regard. Golden rule number 1: just take care of yourself. That's all he's doing. You can't hate the guy for that, right? He's like, I'm just gonna comply with what AMD and my managers want. I'm just gonna make the fucking videos just so I can go home and sleep and not worry about any of this shit. You cannot blame the guy for that at all, right? I'm gonna shit on him for it. You also can't blame him. Most of us would do the same thing, right? What's the moral of the story? Jufus was right again. Just gotta, I gotta fucking put that in there one more time, man. Dude, it's so good. It's like the only thing I live for is to say I told you so. It's literally just like I have to, man. It's like when I see somebody make a mistake, I'm like, you shouldn't have done that. And then they make the mistake, I'm like, ah, told you so. Dude, dude, probably my most toxic trait. Everyone fucking hates that about me, but man, it feels fucking good, dude. It feels so good to tell motherfuckers that shit. Oh, you didn't want to listen to me, did ya? Well, you found out now, didn't ya?